Hi guys. Today I am going to show you how I am choosing to create a submodule for my students to help them know specifically what they are missing, where they can locate it, what kind of resources there are to complete it, and help them get back on track. So some students are missing quite a number of things. Some students might be missing one or two items, and this just kind of helps them, rather than saying go through your gradebook and find the zeros. Well, students who struggle, they may not really understand what they're looking for in the gradebook. So this is more concrete. If you need this item, it pops up in the submodule. You click on it, you go. So what I did was I created a submodule called What Am I Missing? So I went to the content page for my psychology class, and I scroll down here, and where it says add a module, you just type in what you want it to be called. So in my case, I called it What Am I Missing with a smiley face, because smiley faces make the world better. And then you click the enter button. That's how I choose to do it. And the reason I'm not making another one is because I've already made this one. But this is how I'm going to start it. And then if I want to move it it'll come up at the bottom. So like if I wanted to move it, I could just grab it by these dots and put it wherever I would like to put it. In this case, I've put it here above interim assessment 2 because I'm hoping they'll get started with it before the interim assessment. And I'm hoping to have it done within the next day or two. So once I get here, then of course I like to start with a nice description, and I'm going to open this to all of my students regardless, because you may have a student who has mostly A's and B's, but maybe they've got that 160 that they're going to want to redo, or you may have a kid who's missing like one or two items. Rather than go through my gradebook and make a list of everybody, which can change at any moment, I'm going to let the computer do some work for me. So I'm going to open this to everybody, and it could be that they're not missing anything. So I start with I like to go with like a meme or something like that, just something fun. And I refer to my students as psychology superheroes. So you'll notice here I put Fear Not Psychology Superhero Colleen. And if you're not aware of how to put in that name, that first name, I'll show you that trick. It's really simple. But basically what I'm saying is if you see something in here, it means you need to submit it or you need to redo it. And if you need help, I do keep a module here called Open Offices and Learner Conferences. So I'm directing students how to find help with me. So I've already put a few things in here, like the 1.03 quiz. And you may be thinking to yourself, what I did, well, let me back up here. What I did is I actually created a web page, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But I didn't import the 1.03 quiz. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why wouldn't you do that? Well, here's the reason. I found this problem. When I brought in the 1.03 quiz, I don't want this to show up for a kid who got 100 on the quiz. That means that they already did it. Or a kid who maybe got a 90, and a 90 is good for that child. So I want this to show up for kids who either didn't do the quiz or didn't score a passing grade, so 60 or below, because this is a 10-point quiz. So when I do that, if I import the quiz, when I go back into the rest of the content, it's now only going to show up for those kids. Well, maybe you have a kid who made a 70 who wants to bring it up to an 80 or a 90. I don't want to restrict them from that option. So the reason I chose to do this, to make the HTML document, is so that I could still provide the other students a chance to go back and look over their quiz or whatever they wanted to do. So I will show you how I did this, and I will show you how you can put links in so that you can help them get straight there. And to do this, let me just tell you that one of the things that I do to begin with is I click on, see these 9 boxes here? I click on that. And then I go to my current list. I know this looks like a crazy long list. It's a long story. But I go to my current list of psychology class. So right now, this is my current one. I right-click on it, and I choose Open Link and New Tab. So you can see I have it up already right here. And the other thing I like to open is my Google Drive, because I keep all of the PowerPoint presentations I do. I turn them into a PDF and upload them to my drive. And I think it makes it easier for the students to access them, but also if there happens to be a link, when it's a PDF, students can open it regardless of PC, Mac. We don't have to have that debate. But at the same time, it also makes it easier for students to click on the links because PDF takes them there faster. So that's just my experience. and that's why I make the choice I do. All right, so I'm going to come back here to my what am I missing. Notice I did open it in a new tab, so I have 3 tabs open right now. My husband is a computer tech, and first thing he'd do is say, you need to close some tabs, but I find this works better. And I actually have 2 screens. I don't have this up right now because I can't get it all on this video, but I actually would normally have the Google Drive and the other content page on my big screen up above me. If you don't have dual monitors, I highly encourage it. It's one of my favorite things. All right, so I've done Unit 1, so I'm going to start with the first item for Unit 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to, let me try that again, Upload and Create. And I'm going to choose Create a File. Now again, I'm not going to import the actual item from the other part in the content page because I don't want to restrict any child who wants to go back and retry something. So I'm going to give it the really clever title, Unit 2.03 Assignment 2-1 is missing. And the reason I give them all a title like this is because for the kids who are missing 1 or 2 items, I think it makes it a little easier for them to see it and say, oh, okay, it could be missing. So let's go ahead and talk about how did I get in that first name. So I'm going to choose the brackets, which if you look, you hit the Shift key and then you look above the quotation marks, you can find the little bracket. And I'm going to put in the word first name, all one word, and then I close those brackets. If you are seeing this, you are missing the 2.03 assignment 2-1, or you scored below a mastery score. Okay? Now you might be saying to yourself, wow, like if her mastery score, what is that? And technically it's an 80. However, when I'm trying to get at the end of the semester, trying to get kids kind of moving, I go with a 70. And you can definitely choose to go higher or lower. As an electives course, sometimes I go a little lower because I'm trying to get more kids caught up. Sometimes, the trick is reminding them, hey, electives exist. We got to get our grades in too. So I'm going to put this in. If you're seeing this, not to worry. You can still complete it using this information. Click here for the 2.03 assignment document or follow these steps. Okay, so what am I doing here? Well, I am going to go, I'm going to highlight where it says click here for this 2.03 assignment document. Okay? And then I'm going to go up here to the Insert Quick Link. And I'm going to go to Assignments. And this is where I'm going to bring in a link to this assignment. Okay, so now if students click on this link, they can get to it. But here's the problem. Sometimes I do this and it works, and sometimes I do this and it doesn't work, and it can work for one kid and not the other. So that's why I have this fail-safe of follow these steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my content page. And I'm going to start by clicking on the module that it's in. So I keep my modules based on Instructional Cycle 1 and Instructional Cycle 2. And the reason I clicked there is to get this all to kind of shrink up a little bit, because what I want to do is I like to take pictures. Okay, I'm a big snipper. Love my snipper tool. Big fan of it. So I'm going to start by putting a picture here that they start here. And then I use the little caret pointing to the right to indicate that the next thing they go to is here, the Unit 2 biological basis. Okay, I'm going to copy that and put that over here. And then my little caret tool again. My little caret symbol is above the period on my keyboard, for anybody who's wondering what I'm clicking. And then I'm going to click on it to open up my unit. So I kind of keep mine folders within folders. Might give you a good sense of my brain and how it works. And then again, I'm going to highlight it, and I'm using this step of highlighting so that it kind of lets the kids know what they're looking for. My brain is very visual, so that's how I roll. All right, so now I'm going to click on 2.03. It'll bring me over here to this 2.03 assignment. And I'm going to show them a beautiful picture of the assignment here, the assignment name. And I'm going to bring my little carrot and put it there. Okay, now I'm about to do something that's probably going to make you wonder what in heaven's name I'm thinking, but sometimes these pictures don't show up for the students. So now they don't know what steps to follow unless I tell them. So here's what I'm going to tell them. Go to the content page. Oops, sorry, I clicked all the wrong buttons there. And choose the module, not submodule, Instructional Cycle 1. Oops, sorry. Then choose Unit 2, Biological Basis. Then choose 2.03, the brain, and actually I'm going to then choose submodule. Put that in quotes. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry, clicking all the wrong buttons here. It's the end of the day. And you'll see the 2.03 assignment on the right. Okay. The assignment document is in the Dropbox, or you can access it by clicking here. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and I'm going to find that 2.03 assignment document. Okay, I want to move myself over here. I'm going to share it, maybe, if it'll let me. Ah, there we go. My Google Drive's been a little slow today. Oops, sorry, wrong one. All right, I'm going to highlight it again, choose, I'm going to go up to Insert Quick Link, scroll down to URL, and that's where I'm going to put in the link to the document. And one more thing I want to give them is a resources. So, need some help? Let me scroll down a little bit. Try using this presentation on the parts of the brain to find the information you need. Okay, so again, I'm going to go back to my Google Drive, click Done, and find my parts of the brain presentation. So this will help the kids, sorry to move myself around so much, this will help the kids because it kind of helps them not have to go looking for all the information on the parts of the brain. They just have to think about how they want to present it. Sorry, got to move myself again. I'm always in the way. Okay, so now I need to finish it up and make it pretty. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to use size and color. I don't have the world's greatest eyes. I actually have been farsighted since I was 11. Probably more than you needed to know, but it's true. So as a result, I like to make things big because that's how I need to see them. So I also want to remember that kids, they scroll past stuff and they skim over things. So I like to make sure anything that I feel like is important for them to see is colorful, so it will grab their eye. So I'm letting them know that they're missing the assignment or they did not score a mastery score. So now they know why it's coming up. And now they see the rest of the information. And then I'm also going to go to this needs some help. I like to make that kind of big, like, hello, look for this. Oh, we'll make it green. I like green. Green's a good color. All right, and the last thing I click here is publish. Now, and we're going to wait and see if it decides to publish it. Yay! Okay, so now I've got this document that has all these links the kids can get to with great ease, and it also helps them know where to look. But I don't want this to show up for every student, right? Because not every student needs this. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this by highlighting it and then pressing Control-C. And I'm going to go down to the description, and I'm just going to put it into the description so kids know why it's popping up. And again, I like to make it pretty, so I'm going with the color. Plus, like I said, kids tend to let their eyes wander. So I find this just kind of helps them figure out what I'm saying. Whoop. Highlight, orange. Okay. And so the other thing I want to do is figure out who I want it to be for. So I'm going to go to Update, Restrictions, and I'm going to go to Release Conditions. And I want to make this for kids who have not submitted their 2.03 assignment. So I'm going to choose to do this by grade value on a grade item. Okay, now you could do, if it's a quiz, you could do no completed quiz attempt. If it's an assignment, you can do submission to folder. There's lots of ways you can do this. But I am going to choose to go with grade value on a grade item. That's my choice. Any of these would work. So I'm going to click the 2.03 assignment. I'm just going to find it. There it is. And I want it to be equal to or less than a 69. So as I mentioned, you can set that mastery wherever you want it to be. Okay? And I'm going to make sure that the kids who see this are in this particular group, not any other group. So if they come into here and they have like an 85 on it, they can focus on what they're actually missing. Okay? And now as you can see, when I go back to this module, let's say a child has done everything in Unit 1, but is missing a few things in Unit 2. So the way I've set up all of these conditions, and in some cases I chose any condition must be met. Either they did not complete an attempt or they received less than a certain grade. In other cases I chose to do one. It just depends on what best met the needs. So I hope this helps you guys with setting it up. I hope you also kind of understand why I made the choice I did versus just importing it, because I don't want to take it away from other students. And if you have any questions, please let me know.